Cloud. All right. Welcome everyone on our Tuesday evening, second Tuesday of the month. Therefore, it is our newcomer call. I wish it was sunny weather, but nonetheless, it is gloomy, dark, rainy, and cold here in Utah. I'm here visiting the home office, and I can't wait to see everybody tomorrow morning. But I'm also glad to see a lot of familiar smiley faces, a lot of familiar names here, and also non-familiar names. So I'm glad that everyone is inviting new people to these calls, especially today being our newcomer call. You get the opportunity and the honor to interact face-to-face, virtually at least, with our CEO, David Brown. Now, David has a wealth of knowledge ranging from football to law to supplements to health and beauty. I mean, this guy, if it's a topic, he knows it very well. You cannot get anything by him that he doesn't know or hasn't done himself. And that's why I think he's a perfect CEO, and more importantly, a wonderful friend to have here at Actives, leading the charge. And so I will turn the time over to our CEO, David Brown.
Thanks, Stu. I'm never sure where to go with that. Stu is going to be the main speaker at my funeral. I can tell you that much. He's going to deliver the eulogy, all that kind of stuff. He just makes up all that good stuff. But hey, it's great to see all of you tonight. Some of you, most of you, I recognize. Some of you are new faces. So that's the whole point of this call, the newcomers call. And some of you may have joined Actives in just the past few days, few weeks. Others of you have been with us for a few months or longer. And so tonight we'll go over some things you've probably heard before, maybe some things you haven't. And in any event, you'll know a little bit more about Actives and kind of remind yourself as to what got you excited about joining this company in the first place, hopefully. So I'm going to use a PowerPoint to help go over some of the things that I'd like to emphasize today. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing that a lot of people want to know is, why do we even have the name Actives? And many of us came from other companies and other things that we were doing, and we had some success in those other companies, but we felt that we could do better. And one of the things we thought that we could do better on was really putting things in people's control. So we talk about epigenetic products, products that actually change your or affect the way your genes operate. We wanted to give people an opportunity to affect their own health. We wanted to have the opportunity to affect your own financial freedom. And so we've had a lot of success in the 4 years that we've been around. We're still very much a young company, very much a startup. But we've had great success starting first in Mexico, then branching out into the US and Peru and Colombia and Japan and other markets that we'll soon be in. Many of you are still really pioneers we have people on the call tonight most of you are in the United States, but there are a few that I know that like Susie, I saw her, and I don't have everybody else in front of me right now, but I know we have some others that are in Mexico. I saw Noemi. She's back and forth to Mexico every day, I think, living on the border. And so we have a lot of different people who have different cultures, but all united in the desire to improve their lives and the lives of people around them. It might be interesting for you to know just what kind of industry that you're in. Did you know that the global supplement sales generally are $165 billion? And the health and wellness sector is one that is growing phenomenally every year in virtually every market around the world, because people, again, are very interested in taking control of their own health. I think the pandemic has shown everyone how vulnerable we are, how vulnerable from a health standpoint we are, and how vulnerable we are economically when things go beyond our control to affect our lives and our families' lives. And so if you wonder, am I in a good industry? Am I in a growing market? The answer is absolutely yes. Now, the thing about Actives is, without tooting our horn too much, we've had a lot of success and a lot of experience in this market, in the supplement market generally, and in direct sales specifically. My partner, Ryan Thompson, it really, I think, is one of the the foremost executives and people that knows about direct sales in the network marketing space. He's had tremendous success with a variety of companies. He and I and Angie and Stu and others that are part of the team were able to very successfully take a small fledgling little company that some of you were part of back in the day, from $3 million to $200 million and very quickly, and had a lot of success there. And along the way, we learned things that we wanted to repeat going into a new company, and things that we wanted to avoid going into and starting a new company. We've been very blessed to have a great advisory board. And you've heard me say this before, but in fact, you probably heard your mother say this, that we're often judged by the company that you keep. But the people that are in our company, whether it be Dr. Joseph Maroon, a world-renowned neurosurgeon, Vice Admiral retired, Matt Winter, Dr. Brett Earl, Sinead Irwin, Dr. Daniel Hernandez, Rich Patel, Richard Jones, Jeff Bose, we have just an embarrassment, frankly, of riches on our advisory board of world-renowned medical doctors, world-renowned scientists, people who are at the top of their field in media, people who are at the top of their field in science. Obviously, not everyone who joins the Navy becomes an admiral, let alone someone like Admiral Matt Winter, who many of you, if you were ever part of LifeVantage, might remember that LifeVantage and Protandem had a number of studies done by the Navy, and coincidentally, those studies were done while he was the head of the Office of Naval Research. So when he and I were introduced by Karen Toth about 4 or 5 years ago, he knew about oxidative stress. He knew about NERP2. And I asked him, how do you know about these things? You're not he is a scientist. He's an engineer by training, but he has a very strong desire to know about the things that the Navy was involved in. But the Navy was involved in, thousands of studies every single year. And to think that he knew about oxidative stress and the importance of reducing it was pretty amazing. Now, you all know about our products to some degree. We specifically developed the products that we did to have an effect upon our genetic well-being. Our genes are designed to, in fact, our whole body overall is designed to operate at its peak in a way that controls and helps protect us from outside threats, whether that be viruses, bacteria, pathogens, and to help us live a robust and healthy life. Unfortunately, those same genes can be affected negatively by the things that we do each and every day. And so our products are aimed to offset the environmental effects upon our genes, not just environmental, but our own poor decisions in terms of the things that we eat, our choices whether or not to exercise, and the type of other environments that we put ourselves in. And so that's what we've been able to do. Our products really do find themselves at the cutting edge of technology. I mentioned the other day in a meeting that maybe at this Christmas time, when we're thinking about what kind of gifts would be fun to give, if we had the money to give everyone the cutting edge in automobile technology, maybe we would give them a Tesla. Well, that would be great, but probably not everyone can do that. But what about giving them the cutting edge in technology in gene therapy as reflected in genomics? Genomics as a NRF2 activator is the world's most powerful NRF2 activator. Some of you were at the ribbon cutting event in Mexico City 4 years ago, where Dr. Brooks Hybertson, who is a colleague of Dr. McCord at Pathways Biosciences, stood before everyone there in Mexico City and announced that genomics was the most powerful NRF2 activator in the world. And it truly is. Now, why is that even important? Well, it's important because NRF2 is a very special protein, and a special protein that delivers instructions to thousands of genes. In this case, thousands of genes that are primarily aimed at reducing inflammation and strengthening our immune system. You know, oxidative stress is something that some of you know something about, and that's the cumulative damage of free radicals. And it's something that's tied to over 200 disease conditions. So if you think about what percentage of the population of the world is affected by oxidative stress, the answer is 100%. every single person on Earth is affected by oxidative stress. And we don't need to be experts in it. All we need to know is we want to reduce it, because it's also the primary cause of aging and also a lot of other things. The other thing that's kind of nasty about oxidative stress and how it links into Optiment is oxidative stress increases inflammation in the body. And as inflammation increases, what does it do? It increases oxidative stress. So it's kind of like this chronic spiral that, if we don't get it under control, really leads to a lot of problems. And that's where our product Optiment steps in as a companion product to genomics to really stop the pain, lower the inflammation in our bodies, and importantly, reduce chronic low-grade inflammation. We know when we have inflammation generally because something hurts. But did you know that sometimes, even when we don't feel anything, we generally have low-grade inflammation? In fact, I was reading today that scientists estimate that 50% of all deaths are tied to inflammation. Can you believe that? 50% of diseases, of deaths are tied to health conditions and diseases that have a primary component involving inflammation. So at the end of the day, like oxidative stress, if you can reduce inflammation, it's a good thing. And that's what we do. Link is another entry into what we call the trifecta. It is just an unbelievable product containing a unique ingredient called butyric acid, which strengthens the gut-brain connection. It strengthens the health of your microbiome, your gut, and when you do that, you affect all the systems in your body. It creates new brain cells. And in fact, frankly, it also, from another standpoint, decreases inflammation. So if you're stranded on a desert island and you have one call to somebody to say, I need you to ship me something, in addition to food, in addition to water, because you need those things, make sure they send you the trifecta, because without it, you're not going to be able to live as long and as healthy as you otherwise could be. And if you're not on a desert island, order it also. You don't have to be on a desert island to make sure that you're taking care of these products every day. Emora is a specialized skincare treatment that makes us look as good on the outside by virtue of providing moisturization, increased collagen, decreasing the lines and wrinkles that we have, and evening out skin tone, and taking care of those things that, frankly, are often a result of things that are going on the inside. We don't maybe talk about this as much as we possibly should, but by especially implementing the trifecta and especially Link into our diet, we're going to take care of a lot of things on the inside, especially in our gut, in our microbiome, that often are reflected in our skin. But if we're working on it on the inside and outside, we're going to make sure that our skin and the cells internally are taken care of as much as they can. And we're going to reduce, we can't stop aging. We're going to, we can't stop the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, the years from going by, but we can reduce the effect that time has upon our cells and the health of our cells. And finally, our latest entry into our product line is Arrow. At a time like this, I don't know about you, but I have a problem during the holidays with sometimes controlling what I eat and how much of it I partake. I love the holidays. I love the food of the holidays, and I like to eat. But I also know that in the United States, fully 66% of all adults are overweight or obese. And did you know that the main problem of that is not just one of appearance and inconvenience, is that extra weight really increases the oxidative stress, it increases inflammation, and decreases our health and our lifespan. 1 in 6 children are overweight or obese in the United States. So it's something that every single product in our product line is aimed at taking care of something that affects everyone, not just a small sliver of society, but something that is widely needed and really necessary for people to increase their health. Now, we talk about who is actives. Well, we have celebrities or minor celebrities, you know, like Mama Coco from the Disney movie. Marco Demaro, a famous singer, sang at our event in Mexico City just a month or so ago. Some of you that were at that event participated with over 1,000 people in Mexico City, helping us celebrate our 4th year anniversary. You see a slide there of Stu conducting a meeting in Japan well over 2 years ago, when we were prior to the pandemic, when we were able to go to Japan. You see Amrish Patel, who's a triple amputee and also a triathlete, who has participated in our virtual global events and who's much benefited from actives as well. And then, of course, you see my granddaughter on the right, who is dressed up at Halloween a year or so ago as Nacho Libre, and she will never forget her. She will never forgive her parents for doing that to her, I'm sure. But it is still part of actives and part of what we're all about. And on that note, I'm going to reveal something that some of you have never seen before. And some of you have never seen David Brown with hair before, okay? That center picture is David Brown in high school. That's me. And if I had the trifecta, I might have hair today. I don't know. I was also 6'4". No, I'm just kidding. I was not 6'4". But you know, when we talk about the actives family, this is my family, my daughter and her family on the right, my sons and daughter-in-law with us at the beach on the left in Hawaii, and my wife and I hiking just this past fall and taking a picture in front of an actives orange tree because we like the color of the leaves so much. It reminded us of the actives orange. But we really do view everyone that's with us as part of the actives family as just that, family. And so when you join us, you're going to be part of a group that not only is helping you to develop a business, but is really concerned about the progress that you and your family are making in all aspects of your life. We care about your health. We care about your relationships. We care about helping you create that financial freedom that you're looking for. As we approach the holidays and gift giving, I was really struck by a statistic I heard on the news tonight, that 1 in 5 Americans are still paying off Christmas from last year. That was astounding to me. And so if you think to yourself during this Christmas time, well, no one's going to really be interested in the things that we have to offer. I think that's wrong. I just think it's wrong. I think that you'll be surprised at how many people, once they understand the opportunity to affect their health, to decrease the effects of aging, to decrease inflammation and the pain that comes along with it, to decrease oxidative stress, to get into better shape, and to provide additional finances for their family, will really be interested in what we have to offer. You know, I wanted to share something at this Christmas time with all of you. Stu knows a little bit about this, but at this Christmas time, one of the things that my family and I share on Christmas Eve is we all have our traditions, and you probably have your traditions as well. But what we do is we eat ramen like this, and we eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. And some of you know the story behind that, but I'll tell you if you haven't heard it before. If you see that picture on the left of your screen, that's a ramen stand. That's a typical ramen stand that you would find in Japan. And about more years ago than I'd like to admit, about 39 years ago or so, I was in Japan. I was a young man, and I was a missionary for my church. And one night in December, about this time of year actually, we always go 2 by 2, and so my friend and I were coming back late at night on a train in Japan. It was freezing cold, And we saw one of these ramen stands just like this outside the train station where we were at. And so we thought, boy, a hot bowl of that ramen soup would be great on a freezing cold night. And so I said, how much money do you have? It wasn't very much money to buy a ramen, but we were both pretty broke. And so we didn't have much money. So between us, we had enough for one bowl of ramen. And so we went up to the proprietor and we said, listen, could you, we'd like to buy one bowl of ramen, but would you divide it into 2 bowls for us? And he said, okay. And he went behind in the back portion of the little stand there, and he made the soup. And then he came out, and we were surprised and a little chagrined when he did, because when he came out, he was holding 2 full bowls of soup. And we're like, oh man, you know, he didn't understand we didn't say it right in Japanese, and now we don't have enough money for it. And we said, sorry, you know. And he goes, no. He said, I understood what you said. Your Japanese wasn't very good, but I understood what you said. And he said, but I just want to give you both, you know, a full bowl, just for the price of one. I'll give you one for free, just as service and to give you a gift. And so as we started talking to him, he was a really nice guy, but he'd led a really tough life. And in fact, in addition to getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning to prepare all the ingredients for his ramen stand that he would typically open up about 8 o'clock at night outside these train stations. He would then, after he was done with the preparations, he'd go to 2 different jobs during the day as a janitor and to provide for his family. His wife was blind, and he had a child that had special needs. And we said, whoa, that sounds really tough. And he said, well, sometimes, you know, you just have to fight though is the word that he used, meaning fight. You have to work hard and just power through. So he was using the English word fight and pronouncing it fight though. Well, you know, he was a really nice guy, and we would have to often pass by his ramen stand. We'd ride our bikes back and forth to various places. And every time he saw us, because we were really kind of the only gaijin or foreigners in the small Japanese city in which we were living, he would yell out to us, fight though, and we'd yell back to him, fight though. It was kind of fun. Well, about 2 weeks later, our church, our congregation was having a Christmas party. And they invited us, and there were actually 4 of us missionaries living in an apartment together, and we were all there. And because we were all from America, they gave us each a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken as a Christmas present, as kind of a reminder of home. It's very expensive. Even back in 1983, and I'm really dating myself when I say that, I think a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken in Japan was like 40 or 50 bucks. It was pretty expensive and way outside of our budgets. And so they gave each set of missionaries a bucket of chicken. And so we were excited to leave the party, go home, and eat our American Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, as we got on our bikes to ride the 2 miles back to our apartment, we were on our bikes, and I looked ahead of my friend, and we were approaching the train station, and it was at night, and we saw the ramen man there. And we said, we both looked at each other, kind of had the same thought, and we thought, you know what, we ought to stop and give our chicken to the ramen man. So we stopped, and we said, you know, it was so nice of you to give us the ramen that you did a couple of weeks earlier. It was so cold. We'd like to present you with this gift of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, Japanese people, especially men, don't normally get very emotional, but he did. And he actually started getting a little teary-eyed. And as he explained that his son had seen commercials for KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken on TV, and he'd asked him sometimes whether they'd ever be able to try that. And he'd always said, well, maybe sometime, but it's really expensive. So I don't know that we'll ever really have a chance to do that. He said, so it's gonna be so great, and he's gonna be so happy. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. So we got back on our bikes. And it was a cold night. We had another mile or so to ride our bikes. But you know how it is when you help somebody and you give a gift that you think that they're really going to like, that we felt pretty warm inside. So we got back to our apartment and continued on, you know, the rest of the evening. About a half an hour later, the other 2 missionaries that were sharing our apartment arrived, and they asked us. They said, "Where's your chicken?" And we explained how we had previously been treated to ramen by the ramen man, and that we felt like we'd like to give him a present of the chicken. So as we explained that, they kind of started laughing, at which point I said, or just kind of chuckling, at which point I said to them, well, wait a minute, where's your chicken? And they said, well, we gave it to the ramen man. And so they had a similar experience, unbeknownst to us, that they had come home one night late and had stopped at that same ramen stand, and he'd given them free ramen. And so so that night, 4 American missionaries went to bed without any Kentucky Fried Chicken, but a ramen man went home with 2 buckets. And but it was great because all of us felt that it was really the way that Christmas is supposed to be. And as we approach Christmas this year, I think that all of us really do have something that will not wear out, that will not be regarded as last year's fashion. It will not be something that's just broken easily and not able to be used. We have the ability to really change lives meaningfully. And whether that doesn't necessarily mean just introducing people to actives and the trifecta or any of our products, or the opportunity to build a business. What it really means is just the opportunity to reach out and make a difference in someone's lives just by seeing them and understanding the position that they're in and offering help to them and kindness and love, no matter what they say in regards to an invitation to join us or not. And I think that at this Christmas time, that's all really that we can hope for. And at the end of the day, that's what Actives is all about. We are a group of like-minded people trying to make a difference, one person at a time, one community at a time, one country at a time, and we're making some progress, all because of you. So I'm going to stop talking, and we have a few more minutes. If there are some questions that you'd like to ask, this meeting is really for you to not only introduce you to Actives, but to answer any questions that you might have. And so Stu, for the next few minutes, we'll take some questions if people have any.
Feel free to unmute yourself or type in the chat if you have a question for David or any one of us. Don't be shy. I'll give some context, by the way. So they eat Kentucky Fried Chicken because in the 1970s, when the first Kentucky Fried Chicken opened, the Japanese franchisee at that time said, this Kentucky Fried Chicken is a substitute for an American turkey dinner. So ever since then, that's why even till today, you ask any Japanese what they plan on eating for dinner, they'll say Kentucky Fried Chicken, because in their minds, that's kind of what, we here in the States eat, turkey. So that's the closest substitute that they can have. So just a little FYI trivia, Jeopardy answer. Oh, we have
Karen, you have a question regarding the ordering system. I'm not sure exactly what your question is, but if you'd like to call customer service or your upline, they can help you through that. Angie, are you still on this call?
I'm still on, and on the warehouse, Karen, you just want to select UPS or USPS. So the corporate office is if you're going to go to our corporate office in Utah to pick up the product, and our Global Connect is for the international market. So select the UPS and USPS warehouse option. Typically, you don't get the, it doesn't ask you, it just defaults to USPS. But there could be something with your account as to why it's not defaulting. So if you'll just select USPS and UPS, then that should allow you to get through the ordering process.
Okay, good. Anyone else?
I have a question.
Sure.
I was in the Mexico event, and Angie was saying that it might be translated into English, since I didn't understand 90% of of what it was.
Well, welcome to the club, Nan. I was there and I also didn't understand most of it. I will say that most of it will not be translated into English. But
Okay.
there will be a couple of videos, one in particular that you might remember, even if you didn't fully understand it. There's a great new video about all of the products, introducing all the products in one video that's in Spanish that we want to get translated into English because it's a great video. So that will, Angie, I'm not sure if there's any other things from that event in particular that we've been planning on translating into English. Is there anything else we talked about that I'm forgetting about?
I can't remember anything specifically. And let me find out if what we posted to YouTube, and what YouTube will do is it will provide subtitles in your language so it basically translates it for you. So if there's any videos on YouTube, you can get the translation for a lot of those videos, but it will be subtitled and not spoken.
Okay. And the next question is there a main English testimonial place where I can send videos to the people that are my prospects? Because there's a lot of Spanish videos, but not a lot of testimonials that are English.
And we would love to get some more English testimonial videos so that we can post those to the app in the back office. One place that you can get testimony videos is there's a Facebook page ran by Aaron Cosmet, and it's called Active Testimonials. So you can find a bunch of testimonials there.
Let me just comment on that.
There are some testimonials on our app, but for those of you that have testimonials that you would like to share, I would love to get your video or even a written copy of your testimonial. And you can send that to contact@active.com, and they'll send that to me so that we can get those posted, because we would love to increase our English testimonial library.
Or is there any way we can get any of the testimonials that are in Spanish?
Nan, we have one, this is Griselda, we have one chat in WhatsApp when we share testimonials in English. Are you on the chat, in the group?
Which one?
It's a US, we name it like US, let me show you to see. If not, add your number in the chat and I can add you in the group.
Yeah, I think it's benefits of Active's products.
Okay.
Is the name of the WhatsApp group. Yeah, we can get you added.
This is the logo. I don't know if you can see.
Active USA. Yeah, I think I'm on that one.
Oh, okay.
Is that with Claudia?
It's with Claudia, yeah, with Susie Gutierrez, and
Okay.
I think Noemi. We are only the Hispanic ones, yes.
Okay,
Let
perfect.
me also mention on that, Nan, the FTC in the United States does not like testimonials, not just from direct sales companies, but for any companies. They really don't like it, testimonials. And the reason for that is that they are concerned that people will take a testimonial without any scientific backing and just automatically assume that it will apply to them. Now, and obviously there's some good reason for that. Sometimes there are testimonials that frankly aren't that believable, and then there are some that are, and ours are backed by science. So we will direct people primarily to look at distributor related or produced materials as opposed to corporate produced or posted testimonials. We'll do some, but we're really leaving that up to the distributors to lead the charge on that. So the other thing I would do is have you talk to your upline about what they do for testimonials and what resources they have as well. And I think you'll find there are some great testimonials out there in terms of things that I feel comfortable with people sharing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure.
David, I had a question. I mean, we had those 7 amazing products, epigenetic science and things like that. Do you guys still maybe working and bring it in the future new products that, can still increasing the opportunity to be healthier and healthier?
Yes, absolutely. We'll never be a company like some others that have hundreds or thousands of products. We're not going to just have Me Too products, but sure, there are some products that are in the R&D pipeline right now that we're looking at. We are also not concerned, but we also want to be conscientious of the fact that many markets are still really new, and so to them, our products are still new, and so we don't want to overload distributors and turn all of you like into pharmaceutical reps or anything like that. So we want to keep it pretty basic, but we also know that there's great science out there, and so yes, we are still looking and we are still reviewing new products that we think will add to our offering. Absolutely.
Good, thank you.
And along those lines, when we think of product development, it won't always just be in new products. It might be in new versions of those products, like samples, for example, or other sizes or things like that to make it easier to share. So those are the things that we are actively looking at as well.
Yes, because sometimes people ask me all the time, did you guys have examples? And I say, well, I had a bottle. But yeah, okay. But yeah, that would be very good. Have some examples of Optimate Link, things like, well, yeah.
Those are things that we're working on as well. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody
David,
else?
there's a couple questions in the chat.
It looks like the light source is here, and then it just.
That's a great question, Cindy. Typically, we would have, from a company standpoint, we can't make any claims regarding curing or treating or mitigating a disease. When individuals talk about their own testimonial, they sometimes use words that like healing or healed. As they're representing the company and talking to others, I would avoid using words like heal or cure or things like that. If you want to talk about, kind of keep it factual, like I went from, my scan results showed this, and then it showed that, and my doctor was amazed at this, and the doctor was amazed at that. Those type of things are okay. But I think that it would be best to avoid, because again, we don't want to mislead people, even unintentionally. And so it's best not to use those words. Good question. And did I remind you guys, the new ones on the call, that I'm a recovering lawyer? You can tell in questions like that I'm not so recovered. I put my lawyer hat back on, and you can you can hear the lawyer part of me coming out. Okay.
David, there were one other question or two other questions in the chat. The first one was, what is the best products for Alzheimer's, and how do they specifically work to help that disease?
Well, again, kind of along the lines of what we just mentioned, we don't make any claims regarding Alzheimer's. However, what we do know is the science is really clear that Alzheimer's, like other neurodegenerative conditions, are linked to a couple of things. One is inflammation. So if you can decrease inflammation, you will benefit a whole variety of health conditions. We also know that butyric acid has been shown, and that's the main ingredient in Link, has been shown to have a very strong effect upon people with Alzheimer's, autism, other neurodegenerative disorders, by strengthening that gut-brain connection. It's kind of linked to this other question that people are asking about, saying that they feel happier, or less depressed or moody. And there's a good reason for that, because when our microbiome, our gut, is in better condition, what happens there then is that there's less inflammation, and also the friendly bacteria that are created in the gut are able to be transmitted to the brain and serve as communicators to the brain to produce more neurotransmitters. Actually, I'll take that back. The neurotransmitters, those chemicals that the brain uses, are primarily made in the gut by those friendly bacteria. So things like serotonin, dopamine, those type of neurotransmitters are made in the gut. And when the gut-brain connection is strong, they're transmitted to the brain. And so the brain has more fuel, more of the chemicals that it needs. Also, butyric acid, in addition to strengthening the barrier in your gut so that good things stay in and bad things, stay out, also strengthens the blood-brain barrier. And so the blood-brain barrier is just exactly what it's described to be, is a barrier to prevent things from getting into our brain and causing and wreaking havoc there. It's also been shown that butyric acid helps to decrease the ability of certain fats called beta amyloids to cling together and create damage in the brain that's been linked to autism. And so I guess my overall response would be that the trifecta in general is very helpful in reducing oxidative stress, reducing inflammation, increasing the number of brain cells that we have, increasing neurotransmitters, all of which are tied to mood disorders, neurodegenerative disorders, and other things affecting the brain. Is that a long answer or what? But they're all very effective in helping those things.
Great. Does anyone have any other questions for David or any one of us? All right.
Well, we're glad to have you all with us tonight. It's been a great meeting, and we really do welcome all of you, whether you are brand new or have been here for a while. We often talk about the products of actives, but the very best products of actives are all of you, because you are who represent us to the world, and we are totally fine with that. We utilize your halo effect, your influence upon your circle of friends, your colleagues, the people that you reach out to. And we realize that we're borrowing your reputation. We're relying upon your reputation. And I can tell you that we're never going to leave you in a spot where your friends, your neighbors, your family members are going to say, I can't believe you scammed us into that company. Those products are bogus. The compensation plan's bogus. It's just not true. I can tell you that based upon other companies we've been at, not only is our NRF2 activator 10 times more potent than a similar product we had at another company, our compensation plan is 30% more profitable or more lucrative, I guess is the word, than the compensation plan that we had there. So we've learned over time as to what really is important, both on the product side and on the business side. And together, we're already producing great results in every country that we're currently in terms of the effect that we're having on people's lives in all aspects, whether that be from their health, whether that be in terms of their financial well-being, their relationships with others, and the number of friends that they have. We just had a great event in Utah, 2 weeks ago now, we had the A6 fly-in. And what was amazing about that was not only bringing people in from all over the United States to be trained and share experiences and stories on how they got to A6 and above and how they can help others. But I think the best evidence of what Actives is all about is what happened 2 or 3 days after that. And that was when our own Diane Young, who's on the call tonight, led a testimonial call. Okay, and it was extraordinary. And it was extraordinary because Diane invited people that I don't think she knew prior to that fly-in event to participate and give their testimonials. So her own family had expanded a lot by virtue of joining Actives. One of the people that she called upon, or the person she called upon, were the Bells, a couple out of Orangeville, Utah. And they had a great testimonial, but guess what they had to do in order to participate in that call that night? They had to take a break and they had to tag team it. Sean and Chris had to tag team it because they were in the middle of a presentation. with somebody as they stepped away to participate on a call just like this to give their own testimonials about the tremendous benefit that Sean in particular had received from Optimend in regards to his back pain. And so that's what this is really, that to me is basically a microcosm of what Actives is all about. Expanding our influence, meeting new people, working together, and creating something that's far bigger than ourselves. And that's what's so exciting about this. And that's why I love getting on these calls and meeting all of you. I look forward to future calls, future in-person meetings. And if there's anything that any of us can do to help you with your understanding about the products, your ability to build a business, or just want to know questions about the company and how we can help you in any way, please let us know. Please contact us and we'll be happy to reach out to you. Is there going to be a video of the Utah event? I don't think we did take any videos of that event. Did we, Angie? I think the reason for that, Nan, it's a great question, is that we're going to be having another event like that in about 3 months. And we don't want to dilute the effect. We want it to be so special for people to really look forward to and participate in. They say, well, the only way I can truly get the full flavor of this is to attend. That may sound a little selfish, but we really just want people to really work hard to get there to those events because they are pretty special. Okay, on that note, Angie, Stu, anything else we need to cover tonight?
We just need to do our reward point giveaway. So I think we haven't done this for the month of December yet. So why don't we, anyone with the birthday in the month of December, we will give you 60 reward points. So put your name and ID number in the chat and we will get those added.
All right. Just letting you know, those who were born in December are very, very special people.
All right, Marcella. Marcella, send me your ID number in the chat as well.
Right.
So get those added.
Yeah.
Awesome. Aaron,
Aaron also.
wow.
Of course, Aaron.
He
I
sneaks right
knew it,
in.
Aaron. I knew you were special. Oh, yes. Isn't that Tiger Woods' birthday? Ah, that's awesome.
I don't know. I knew Aaron had a lot in common with Tiger Woods, so that's great. Golf game,
That's
everything.
awesome.
All right. Oh, Sean Bell. All right.
Sean
December
Bell.
5th.
Nice.
Happy belated
December
birthday, Sean.
8th.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday. Awesome.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we have. So Marcella, if you'll just give me your ID number, then we can also get your points added. And thank you all for joining. Tomorrow we do have our corporate update call. So join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the same Zoom number, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, there's
Thanks,
one more
everybody.
question. So, okay, so Link has been known to help with acne. One of our advisory board members has a daughter who had great results. And then Vanessa said, what should I tell my 21-year-old friend? Take Link and do the Emora? Yes, they should do both Link and Emora to help with acne.
Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. Great to see you all. Good night. We'll see
Thank
you
you,
tomorrow.
David. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Have a
Thanks.
great night.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
See you all
all.
tomorrow.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.